Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X. Episode 31. The World's Sacred Mountain, Yeongsan, Lingsan, Geumgangsan. I stated that the pyramid civilization was the primordial civilization of humanity, founded when our ancestors moved to all corners of the world from Turkmenistan, Central Asia, due to the furnace of Omi, the 5 flavors of misfortune for the Caucasians. At that time, I explained that the original model for the pyramid shape was the triangular mountain, Geumgangsan, which was the Geumgangsan, the very central mountain among the 5 peaks in Central Asia that serve as the backdrop for K-pop demon hunters. This Geumgangsan model was the very prototype of the pyramids. Now then, around 3897 BC, the historical event of the Yellow Race's Hwangangsi, the leaders of humanity, and the central power of Hwanguk in Ufa, Kazakhstan, returning to humanity's place of origin in Turkmenistan, Central Asia, is called Geumgangsan, the opening of the sky, in Korean history. To commemorate this day, October 3rd is still designated as a national holiday called Geumgangsan, the day the sky opened. So, which of the 5 peaks that formed the backdrop for K-pop demon hunters was the location of this Geumgangsan and its background mountain? This very mountain is today's subject, the Yeongsan, the sacred spiritual hometown for all people of the world. This mountain to be revealed today is the prototype of the Himalayas, the world's highest mountain range. It is the original form of the Tian Shan mountain range, and the prototype of the Pamir Plateau. Where could that mountain be? It is Geumgangsan, the mountain to the right of Geumgangsan, the central mountain that became the prototype for the pyramids, which is revered as the spiritual mountain of the nation by the Korean people. This mountain is also said to be the divine land where the sacred Shin of Allah Shin, who was in the Al or Ral of Central Asia, as spoken of in Islam, resided. Geumgangsan, the mountain here, is Mecca. That is, Mi means mountain in Korean, and Cha refers to the bright mountain of Shakya. When bright is translated into Hanja, it becomes Bek, meaning white. This very Geumgangsan is also the white-headed Baekdusan. Please note that all evidentiary materials for the content discussed in Aryan X's videos are contained in a bound book. Please also understand that due to the nature of video and language, a full explanation is difficult. The original meaning of the fabricated Baekdusan in North Korea, currently the highest mountain in Korea, is white-headed mountain. The meaning of the Himalayas in the Himalayan mountain range, located in present-day India and Nepal as we know it, is white-headed mountain, identical to Korea's Baekdusan. Of course, the current Baekdusan in North Korea and the Himalayas in India and Nepal are merely place names that have been transferred and fabricated, taking the name of the original Baekdusan from among the 5 peaks in Central Asia. In other words, they became a set for fabricating history. This real Baekdusan of Central Asia is the sacred land of Shinshi, the stage of the Buddha where Buddhism was born. It is the actual site of Geumgangsan where the sky was opened. It is said that this Baekdusan among the 5 peaks was also called Jeongbeksan, Baeksan, Taebaeksan, Gamadaesan, Doltaesan, and Bulhamsan. And I have stated that this Baekdusan among the 5 central peaks of Central Asia is the actual prototype for the Himalayas, Pamir, Tian Shan, and the Islamic Mecca. As you can see, all the mountains and terrains have been severely destroyed. There is likely no other place on Earth that has been so artificially destroyed. Therefore, please be sure to remember the fact that this place was the center of humanity. Citing the annotations of the old history book, this Baekdusan, the prototype of the Himalayas, which is Geumgangsan, is also called Sumisan. In Sanskrit, it is called Sumeru Parvata, and it is also known as Myogosan, as well as Hyangsan, Hyangchuisan, Hyangjeksan, Gonlunsan, and Geirasasan. This sacred Sumisan, where the Buddhist center name Chanchukguk was located, was called Hyangsan. In Korean geographical records, Hyangsan is called Myohyangsan, and this Myohyangsan is also called Taebaeksan. However, in the previously cited part, it was mentioned that Taebaeksan is also Baekdusan. Thus, we can confirm that the prototype of a single mountain has been transferred, fabricated, or embellished into many different mountain names in Korean history. The valuable YouTube video series that seeks out the actual truth of this fabricated world and restoring it is Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X, which you are watching. I repeat, the history of China's 25 dynastic histories and Korea's history, which took place in Central Asia, is not just the history of the Korean people, but the history of all races and all of humanity on Earth. This is because the origin of life for all people on Earth came from this very place in Central Asia. In the present-day Kyrgyzstan region of Central Asia, there is a large mountain range called the Tian Shan Mountains. The Cheongsam of this Tian Shan range is a name transferred from the real Geumgangsan among the 5 peaks to the mountains in present-day Kyrgyzstan. I have said that the Hanja character Chun, meaning sky or heaven, is not a character that just anyone can use. This is because the name given to the Ural and Aral Mountains by the Hwangangsi of Central Asia, who were the leaders of humanity, when they moved north was Cheongsam, using the Chun that means sky. And the place where Chun, with its historical meaning of sky, is used is also the location of Chunchukguk, the center of Buddhism. There was only one Chunchukguk, and this Chunchukguk is also the Chunguk, or Kingdom of Heaven, that was copied in the Christian Bible. Chunguk is not a place one goes to after death, but rather the center for virtuous people who strive to make this earth the best place for people to live during their lifetime. The mountain that was here is Cheongsam. The place where the sky was opened is Chunguk, and its mountain is Cheongsam. Because of this transfer of a fabricated place name, many people still exist today who search for the center of humanity in the present-day Tian Shan mountain range of Kyrgyzstan. I hope they come to their senses quickly. Spanning the present-day Xinjiang Plateau and Central Asia is a vast region called the Pamir Plateau. What then does Pamir mean? I have stated that all country and place names are related to the Korean language. So, what meaning does Pamir have in Korean? We can find syllables like pa of Pamir, pa, pe, pi, po, bal, be, bel, bul, etc. in numerous country and place names. We can find them attached to names like the pa in Pagoda, pa in Paraguay, pa in Patagonia, pe in France, pi in the Leaning Tower of Pisa, po in Portugal, bal in Valencia, be in Venice, bel in Belgium, and bul in Bulgaria. Although all these syllables may seem to have different meanings, they are names that share the exact same single meaning. That meaning is bright. The mir in Pamir means mountain in ancient Korean, so Pamir means bright mountain. This bright is written as the Hanja character Baek, meaning white, so this Pamir is referred to as Baeksan or Baekdusan. Koreans call the spiritual mountain of their nation Baekdusan. The Baekdusan on the Korean peninsula can be said to be a place name transferred to the Far East after the destruction of the original terrain in Central Asia. This is all a method for fabricating history. Perhaps in the past, our and your ancestors made great efforts to visit this cradle of humanity in Central Asia. Please be sure to remember that this very place among the 5 peaks was the sacred Yeongsan, a symbol in the hearts of people worldwide. For reference, the original title of the famous French novelist André Malraux's The Royal Road is La Voie Royale, which translates to English as The Royal Road, and its first edition was published in 1930. This is a valuable example proving that until at least 1930, the path to Central Asia was well known and used under the concept of a royal road. Did you know that the Royal Road in André Malraux's The Royal Road is this very center of Central Asia? This path was the Royal Road, the Emperor's Road, but as you can see on Google Maps, it was all destroyed to make it unrecognizable and fabricated with the strange name Silk Road to turn it into a dreamlike entity in history. I have said that the place name at the center of Central Asia, where Buddhism was born, was called the place where Chun, meaning sky, was opened. The country that practiced the bright teachings of Buddhism here was Chunchukguk. In the next episode, I plan to reveal the truth about this Chunchukguk, the center of Buddhism, so please contact many people, and I sincerely hope you will join in this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Heaven and earth will tremble. Subtitles can be translated into the language of each country, so please make use of them. If there are any issues, please contact us via comments or Google Mail. The Google Mail address is AryanRealHistory@gmail.com.
The YouTube video address is Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X, or History Restoration of Aryan X. Your subscriptions and likes are a representation of your conscience and passion for the truth, so please do not forget.